Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Football Tribe UG channel. Robert Kesakos is your usual suspect. Welcome back to yet another live broadcast on your favorite football updates channel. It's a pleasure to be back on this beautiful Wednesday night, the 4th of March, 2026. I do come to you live from Kampala, Uganda, where it's 10 minutes past 11 p.m. And as you know, action is already underway. Arsenal leading by goal to nil against Brighton, thanks to that strike by Bukayo Saka. Apologies for that. Was just having our audios tested. So that strike from Bukayo Saka with Yuri and Timber providing the assist is still the difference in that game. And then Manchester City are leading Nottingham Forest by goal to nil. That goal scored by an on-form Antoine Semenyo, while Chelsea and Aston Villa is 1-1 after Aston Villa took the lead in the second minute through Douglas Luiz, and then Joao Pedro has scored to restore parity just not too many minutes back, So that is happening really, or that's the scope of results across the different matches that are being played on match day 29 of the Premier League officially, but it's the 30th game for the Arsenal for this season. That means after today, they will have 8 games left to play, and they still have that one game advantage over Manchester City, who are the other direct rivals. In a few minutes from now, the game between Newcastle and Manchester United will be getting underway. But for now, our focus is on the Arsenal game as well as the Chelsea-Aston Villa game. Those are the games that we are keeping tabs on thus far, in as far as this competition, or in as far as the Premier League is concerned. So for those of you that made it for the morning broadcast, majority of you missed it, by the way, for whatever the reasons it was. But for those of you that managed to catch it, thank you so much. For those of you that watch the live broadcasts long after they've ended, we do appreciate you a great deal. So yeah, that's what's happening across the different stadia in as far as the Premier League is concerned. Yesterday, we saw some games, including Liverpool being beaten by 2-1 at the hands of Wolverhampton Wanderers. A stunning result there. Sunderland winning against Leeds by goal to nil, while Brentford shared the spoils with AFC Bournemouth in a goalless draw. And then, of course, Everton winning at home against Burnley by 2 goals to nil. Meanwhile, Aston Villa have the second in this game, and they have restored their lead. Enrique Konsa so close to connecting the ball into the back of his own net a couple of minutes back. But it does promise to be a very entertaining game that is between Chelsea and and Aston Villa. For those of you that are just joining us, welcome to the Football Tribe UG channel. Robert Kesakos is my name. I come to you live from Kampala, Uganda. Kindly like the broadcast, but also consider subscribing to the channel if it is your first time here, and help us continue to grow on this forum. Somebody is saying, you know English. Hello. Yes, hello to you too. I do know English. That's the language I'm speaking, in case you hadn't noticed, really. But it's a pleasure to have you. I'm trying to read your name. Sometimes I tend to struggle reading people's names the right way. So please forgive me if I mispronounce your name there. But it's a pleasure to have you on the broadcaster tonight. Your name is it Skimas? Is it Skimas? Is that how you pronounce your name? I subbed and liked. Thank you so much, Skimas. Where are you joining us from, Skimas? I don't want to judge you based on your name and begin guessing where you are from. Okay, all right. That's good if I got it right. But thank you for joining us tonight. Skimas. I've never heard of the name before, so I won't even attempt to predict or guess where it is from. Okay. Oh, come on. I haven't missed that moment. Oh, looks like that Villa goal did not stand, did it? The goal was chopped by VAR. It had been scored by Ollie Watkins. So the goal doesn't stand, really. Very, very unfortunate for Aston Villa there. The goal has been chopped. Betty Donato. Betty Donato says, hi. Hi, Betty. How are you doing? Where are you joining us from? You say, I want to go live. You want to go live as in on the channel or on your own channel? What do you mean you want to go live? Do as you please, please. Go ahead and do as you please. So, but meanwhile, Arsenal still surviving with that 1-0 lead that got very early on in the game. They've not created many more chances really since then. It's been one foul after the other. Christian Mosquera started in this game alongside Gabriel Magalhaes, coming in for William Saliba, for whom I am not sure up until this moment why he's not made it the to the matchday squad. But Kai Havertz is in there on the bench. Jurriën Timber is in there at right back. Of course, at left back, it's Pierre Hincapié, David Raya is in goal, Martin Zubimendi, Declan Rice, and Eberechi Eze. Then you have Gabriel Martinelli to the left, Bukayo Saka to the right, and of course, Victor Gyökeres leading the lines. Betty says, how are you? I'm all right, Betty. How are you doing? Why are you joining us from, Betty? And do let me know where you're joining us from on this beautiful, bit of a cold evening, I must acknowledge, here in Kampala, Uganda. It's a bit a cold weather. It's, after some downpours in the evening. I don't know why I keep getting these constant time lags on my feed. So you will please indulge me. But we'll try to go through it bit by bit. You will indulge me where I fall short on the timelines. Really? Okay. Meanwhile, tomorrow, Real Madrid are in action. Do not miss out on that. Earlier on, Rayo Vallecano beat up against Rayo Oviedo by 3-0. Betty says 67. When he says 67, what do you mean? Is that a location? Is that where you're coming from? I'm not a good judge of names or locations. But then also in the Coppa Italia, there's that second semi-final. The first one ended in a goalless draw between Como and Inter for the first leg. There's one between Lazio and Atalanta. It's still goalless. And then in the semi-finals of the Copa del Rey return leg, Real Sociedad are still goalless against Athletic Bilbao. So that game is also ongoing, with Real Sociedad leading that one by 1-0 on aggregate. But so far in normal time, it's still goalless. It's a bit of a hula baloo in the Amex Stadium. Those Brighton fans are not seemingly too pleased with Chris Kavanagh, who he's the matchday official in that one. Okay, Bet says no. Okay. Hi, Betty. Arsenal living dangerously, have lived dangerously for the last couple of minutes, giving away spaces in behind their goal, and it won't be long before Brighton punishes them. God knows they are capable of that. There is a foul in the area. I hope somebody didn't do something stupid there, because players are fond of that. Sometimes you'll question it, but it is what it is. Players will do they'll commit the most stupid mistakes at the highest level, and you wonder why, when the stakes are as high as they are, would you committing such a a big mistake. Let's see this again. Gabriel Martinelli, what on God's green earth are you doing or even thinking? Wow. Arsenal almost got away with one there. It's a BRB. What's that? Brother recognizes brother. Is that a short form for that? And I need to have a more magnified look at that penalty shot, because Gabriel Martinelli, it begs a question: why would you be entangled in a pool in a non-set piece incident play with an opponent player, even when you're tracking back? Or you say no. So that means I've gotten that one wrong. Jorel Hato trying to drag Chelsea ahead into this game, but he could not keep his attempt on target. Meanwhile, we now have to go and search for that game between Man United and Newcastle, because it's kicked off. It's going to be that kind of night, touch here, touch there, because there's plenty of interesting action ongoing. But for the games that kicked off at 10:30 p.m., some of those, majority of those have gone into halftime, other than the Chelsea game, which is also close. West Ham is still goalless against Fulham. Arsenal take that 1-0 lead, as do Man City against Nottingham Forest into halftime. Really, that's the update from that side. So yeah. Oh, I need to find the United game. Oh, Chelsea have taken the lead. I need to find out through who, but my score alert tells me Chelsea have a lead against Aston Villa. Oh, what a night it's going to be. Very interesting, action-packed. Big teams are in action. Liverpool lost yesterday. United are in action. Arsenal in action. Man City are in action. Chelsea are in action. You do sort of reckon, given how trends can go, that there is another giant that could drop points tonight. Let's hope it's not who you and I are thinking, or who you and I wouldn't wish to be dropping those points. Let's see. Alejandro Garnacho. Good hold-up play. Joao Pedro with the goal. His second of the night, but also scoring to make it 2-1 for Chelsea. Beautiful, beautiful goal. Beautiful take. Aston Villa's defendings, once again, all over the place. Unai Emery looking very unpleased on the touchline there, as he has been on multiple occasions this year, in as far as the Premier League is concerned. Garnacho with good hold-up play. Is that Enzo Fernandez? Gets the through ball. Is this Malo Gusto on the lower side? I don't think Joao Pedro was offside. He looks onside. Little chip of a ball over Emi Martinez. He knows the goalkeepers come out quickly, and he just sort of floats it over him. There's a possible offside check, so the goal will be checked, but I think it will stand, because from where I'm standing, he looked to be onside, and that there was no issue about that. So it's a goal. The goal is right. No fuss about that. Oh, Chelsea looking the brighter. Man United having to dig in and defend because Man United are giving a go at it as well. Somebody's saying online that Verbruggen should be investigated. How does he let that one in? Commenting on Arsenal's goal there tonight. Arsenal and Man City will both draw points tonight. One will lose, the other will draw. That's Kasuku giving his prediction. There's already been no penalty call for Chelsea on Rachel James. Was that Ian Matson? It's going to be, looks like it's going to be another looks like it's going to be another night of some refereeing decision controversy. Let's wait for that. Meanwhile, according to the Daily Mail, FIFA have reached a verdict on the incident involving Luis Enrique and Joao Pedro in the FIFA Club World Cup final. They have decided not to punish the Spanish coach for the slap, meaning no sanctions will be issued. The case is now considered closed. For those of you that remember, there was a bit of a snafu at the finals of the FIFA Club World Cup in the summer in the USA, as Chelsea beat PSG by 3-0. So there's that. Okay. Oh, that Chelsea game has headed into halftime with Chelsea leading by 2-0. Both goals from Joao Pedro. There, we'll get to look at those starting 11s for a majority of the teams that are playing. I'll be giving you a run through them in as far as things go. Mikel Arteta and Fabian Hatzler already were involved in an argument of Anthony Elanga looking to squeeze it on the near post, but could not hit the targets to give Newcastle the lead. Said in the preview for this game that Man United will need to be at the top of their defensive game to get something out of that game. Released Bruno Fernandes and his attacking trio of Benjamin Sesko, Matheus Cunha, and Bryan Mbeumo will equally need to be at it on the other side. Oh, come on. Still searching for something, but I'm yet to succeed. Okay. For those of you that are just joining us, kindly like the broadcast, but also consider subscribing to the channel. We are keeping up to date up to speed with all those Premier League games that are ongoing. Many of those are into halftime. Meanwhile, Bukayo Saka is today marking his 300th appearance in an Arsenal jersey, and he scored on his 300th appearance, which is what he really, really needs for a player, for a pivotal Arsenal player that has had a bit of an underwhelming season by measure of his own standards, at least on my account and assessment. That is a really, really good for him. He really, really needed that. He really, really needed that. Oof. Harvey Barnes also having a go at it from distance. Sonny Lomans will need to be extra alert tonight. Looks like Newcastle will be firing some missile shots at the Man United goal on the other side. But remember, Man United are yet to lose a game under the charges of Michael Carrick. They've only drawn one. That was a 1-1 draw against West Ham United. All the other 6 have been victories that he's been in charge of. But so far, it's a one-man party on the other side. Oh. Bukayo Saka will need more of that confidence. John, hi John, how are you doing, my brother? Bukayo Saka will need the same confidence that he used taking that shot to have more aims at goal, which is what Arsenal need. Oftentimes, they've needed that going from distance this season, but they've not always achieved it, you know. Anyways, so quickly, I've already given you the starting 11 for the Arsenal, for those of you that were already part of us. But for Brighton, they have Verbruggen in goal. They have Mats Wayfair. They have John Van Hecke. They have Olivier Baskagli. They have Freddie Kadioglu. They have Carlos Baleba and Pascal Grob in midfield. They have Diego Gomez. They have Jack Henshwood, Kaoru Mitoma, and Jorginho Ruta. They are leading the lines. On the bench, Arsenal do have Kepa Arrizabalaga, Ricardo Carafiori, Miles Lewis Kelly, Christian Nogard, Max Dorman, Gabriel Jesus, Leandro Trossard, Noni Madueke, and Kai Havertz, while the absentees are Martin Odegaard has not made it to the matchday squad. He still has that knee issue. Mikel Merino out with a broken foot, William Saliba out with a knock, as well as Ben White. On the side of Brighton, Lewis Dunk is out with a knee injury. Adam Webster out with a knee injury, while Stefanos Zimas is out with an anterior cruciate ligament. On their bench, they do have Danny Welbeck, Yankuba Minte, Harry Howell, Matty O'Reilly, Yassine Ayari, James Milner, Joel Veltman, Max Di Cupia, and Jason Steney, the goalkeeper. That's for Brighton and Hove Albion. Quickly, Chelsea, following that very decent first half, here is how they lined up. With Felipe Jorgensen in goal, with Robert Sanchez dropped to the bench for tactical reasons. Wesley Fofana, Trevor Chalobah in that centre-back pairing, Malo Gusto at right back, Joel Hato at left back, Rachel James in midfield alongside Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez ahead of them, with Cole Palmer to the side, as well as Alejandro Garnacho to the other, while Joao Pedro is leading the lines. Enoch Isaac says, hi bro, thank you for the updates. Kwetuli, that's Enoch there. Thank you so much, my brother Isaac Mwami Enoch. We'll talk later. Still watching Arsenal versus Brighton. Yeah, John, thank you so much. Keep up to speed with that game. Meanwhile, the Fulham West Ham game has returned for the second half. It's still goalless, while the others are also edging closer to a resumption. For Manchester City, who, like I said, are in the lead thanks to an assist by Ryan Cherki, making his 8th assist of the season, while Antoine Semenyo, I think, has scored what? His 15th goal of the season? Possibly, you know, because I think he had 13 coming into this fixture. So scoring means he's gone to 15. What a season. What a tremendous season he's having there, Antoine Semenyo. But Man City, here's how they assembled themselves against Nottingham Forest. Gianluigi Donnarumma in goal, Ruben Diaz alongside Mark Kehi, Ryan Atnori at left back, Matas Nunes to the right back, Lodri in midfield. Ahead of him is Phil Foden, Ryan Cherki, and Bernardo Silva, Antoine Semenyo, and Brad Erling Haaland are the players that have started that game. Enoch says, any odds for the weekends, or we wait for tomorrow's broadcast? Well, I did give my predictions during the preview yesterday, but among those that we gave our wins on here were Manchester City to win their game, Arsenal to win by 2-1. We went for both teams to score for the Aston Villa Chelsea game, but I did give Chelsea the advantage. I went for a 2-1 prediction overall, but if you're a betting person, you go for yes in that one, which has already happened. Man United, yes. In terms, for those of you that bet on goals, it's a bit a difficult one to call for a win, but I still would tilt towards Manchester United given Newcastle's recent very poor run of form. So those are some of the predictions that we did give. Of course, yesterday we had a perfect score prediction for Everton against Burnley, but we also got some others wrong. There was a goalless draw between Brentford and Bournemouth. I don't think we got that one wrong in terms of not in terms of the prediction, but the Liverpool Wolves game is the one that threw us off guard. And then I also did not expect Leeds to lose to Sunderland, but they lost by 1-0. So thank you for asking that one, Enoch. Then, Nottingham Forest, they do have Matt Sells in goal, Milinkovic-Savic, Nikola Milinkovic, Gia Cunha, Moriro. They have Ola Aina, Neko Williams, Elliot Anderson, Ibrahim Sangare, Morgan Gibbs-White, Nicolas Dominguez, and Igor Jesus. They are leading the lines. On the bench, Man City have James Trafford, John Stones, Nathan Ake, Kushanov, Tijan Bruyendas, Nico Gonzalez, Omar Mamouche, Jeremy Doku, and Savinho, while their absentees are Nico O'Reilly with an ankle injury, Max Alenia with a knock, Joško Vardiol with a broken leg, and then Mateo Kovacic with an ankle injury. This one has been out since forever. So those are some of the team updates or setups as things go. The Arsenal game has also returned for the second half, so we'll be returning to that game as well. Like I told you, it's a bit of a busy night, so we'll be bouncing between games to try and keep up to speed with the respective fixtures. In the meantime, I'll also be giving you the starting 11 for Manchester United as well as that of Newcastle. But just indulge me as I find my feed for the Arsenal game so that we can keep tabs on that second half as well. Okay. But for Man United, they do have Senne Lomans in goal. They have Lenny Yoro alongside Harry Maguire. They have Nusa Mazorowi at right back. They have Luke Shaw at left back in their team setup. That's for Man United, who are at the away team. In their midfield, the usual suspects of Casemiro and Kobbie Mainoo. Ahead of them is Bruno Fernandes, Bryan Mbeumo, Matheus Cunha, and Benjamin Sesko. That's their team setup. Like I told you, Michael Carrick always seeks for consistency, unless otherwise, he never tends to chop his team. Chop and change. On the side of Newcastle, they have Aaron Ramsdale in goal, coming in for Nick Pope. They have Kieran Trippier, Malik Thiaw, Dan Burn, Lewis Hall, Jacob Ramsey, Sandro Tonali, and Joelinton in that midfield. Anthony Elanga, Anthony Gordon, as well as Harvey Barnes. Nick Voltmada had an illness, and therefore he's out for today's fixture due to an illness. But on the bench, Newcastle have Nick Pope, Steven Botman, Alex Murphy, Leo Shaha, Joe Willock, Yohan Wissa, Willan Osula, Jacob Murphy, and Sean Nevy. While Man United have Altay Baindia, Diego Dalot, Tyler Malacia, Aiden Heaven, Goodwill Kukonki, Manel Ugarte, Tyler Fletcher, Joshua Zaxi, and Amado Diallo. Looks like Man United do not have so much strength on that bench, but it is what it is. So, meanwhile, Arsenal need to find that second goal if they are to put themselves in a better picture. A 1-0 lead is always as thin a skin as that of a a tilapia fish or a silver fish. That's how thin it does feel. In any case, even a 2-0 lead is always not enough by the trends of the Premier League, because the other day we saw Wolverhampton Wanderers come from 2 goals down to restore parity against Arsenal and force them to drop points, something that put Manchester City back into a pole position for their fight in this Premier League title. Let me hope I've done you guys justice. Okay. Ebeleche Eze is yet to have the spark once again in this game. I feel he needs to do more in the absence of Martin Odegaard. He's the guy that needs to help that team a little more. Oh, Benjamin Sesko was close to giving Manchester United the lead, but that ball was fumbled within the area, couldn't get it from under his feet. Bruno Fernandes once again delivering a very sumptuous floated ball in the area, in a very, very dangerous area. Oh, ball kept bouncing on in between the legs of some of those Newcastle defenders, Dan Burn being one of those. There a few moments back. Okay. Victor Gyökeres has not yet had a good performance in this game. Not that lots of chances have been created for him, to be fair. Arsenal need to find him a lot more. He needs to stay switched on for the right moment. Okay. Just trying to look at some of those statistics. There's only been one shot on target for either sides. That's why I was saying Arsenal need to do a lot more. They've not had any shots off targets. And Brighton are edging them on ball possession. Not that it matters that much. It matters what they create going forward on the other side. Oh, really? Thought I had a notification on that front. Is my phone playing games on me? Ah. The last thing Man City and Arsenal would want is for either side to drop points, is for any of those sides to drop points. I think very soon we'll be abandoning. Oh, come on. Teams have learned giving Arsenal a test of their own medicine when it comes to creating chaos in the box during set piece plays. Uh-oh. Arsenal living dangerously. Oh, beautiful catch from David Wire. You can sense a certain level of fatigue in this Arsenal team with the way they apply themselves, whether it's Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi, Julian Timber. Those been some of those players that have shown signs of fatigue already this season because of the amount of games they've played thus far, really. Oh, Arsenal looking shaky in the second half. Whereas the Amex is not an easy place to go, it does not mean they should go and lose or drop points there. They'll need to be at the top of their game and find a way to win. Okay, time to switch it up a bit. There's that risky short pass play that Arsenal start with the defender starting the ball off to David Raya, sometimes before they go long or find the spaces to play out from the back. I don't know if it's just me who is too skeptical about that move, but it always does look risky. It always does look risky. Oh, so many spaces in that midfield. That's clumsy over Pierre Hincapi. You got to fight on better. Can't be waiting for soft fouls. Never going to get them. You're lucky if you do. Both teams are struggling from a final product that is wanting. That's between Arsenal and Brighton and Hove Albion. Danny Welbeck is one of those substitutes that Arsenal will have to worry about. He scored quite a number this season already. Scored 10 already this season. Anton Semenyo, I think he's at 15 thus far. Come on. Kasaka should be doing better. Arsenal already looking to make their first changes in the game. Kai Havertz to be introduced with Leandro Trossard as well. I think Mikel Arteta has realized what we already know, that Arsenal are on the back foot here. I think he did well. Van Hecke did well to recover there. I had to switch things up on this Man United game. and see how Man City are winning on the other side. Oh, wow. David Raya forced into a brilliant save there to keep Brighton at bay. Seems to have hurt his shoulder in the process. Meanwhile, Nottingham Forest have restored parity against Manchester City. I have no doubt Man City will win that game, but for now it's all square. Man City 1, Nottingham Forest 0. Sorry, not Man City 1, Nottingham Forest 1. That's according to my score radar. Nottingham Forest saying they won't go down without a fight. If David Raya can't continue, Arsenal will have to summon Kepa Arrizabalaga. Oh, Victor Gyökeres has been withdrawn for Kai Havertz as premature. Anyway, it's Mikel Arteta's strategy. He always wants to play Kai Havertz as a striker, but I don't know. I'd rather he would have stayed. I'd rather Kai Havertz would have come on maybe for an Eze, and then Trossard is coming on against his former bosses for Gabriel Martinelli, Albert Stuevenberg, giving him some final instructions there before he came on. So for now, our screens are turned on for, speaking of screens, perhaps I could try and use an extra one here and see if we can have access to that Chelsea game. Perhaps keep tabs on Chelsea as well. Yep. Let me see if it can all pay off. Oh my world. Yankuba Minte so close to restoring parity. Christian Mosquera there. Christian Mosquera should have done better in that moment. Let's get himself done. And Arsenal nearly paid the ultimate price. Oh, Man City have restored their lead. It's 2-1. Like I said, I have no doubt whatsoever that they are going to win that one, and they have squad to go ahead. I don't know. A code is yet to be shown on my dashboard here. I have multiple dashboards for score updates. So one is showing the lead, another is yet to show it, and I'm yet to watch it. Oh, Brighton have beaten that Arsenal high press. Oh, Chelsea have scored. It's 3-1. Oh, way far. So close to making it 1-1. Oh, Rodri, Rodrigo Hernandez Cascante with the goal for Man City. It looked unpretty, but it did go in. Chelsea have the third. Aston Villa with that high line beaten. Cole Palmer with a brilliant strike through all those legs. Ricardo Carafiori has replaced Christian Mosquera, who was on a booking. Now, my reservation about Ricardo Carafiori is he can be a bit of a hothead himself. But yeah, that's what is happening tonight. Man City leading by 2-1, thanks to that goal by Rodri. Arsenal still leading by a goal to nil against Brighton. Oh, as a poor ball. Arsenal cannot seem to bring the ball under their control, under their spell. They seem to be fumbling it all about the place, and they continue to live dangerously. I understand they are playing under a lot of pressure and nerves, but they got to get their shit together. They got to get their shit together. Morgan Rogers losing his head there after being physically challenged by Malo Gusto. Then he doesn't get the foul and he kicks the ball away. Oh, come on. Kai Havertz wins the ball back, but couldn't get the shot away just in time. Enzo Fernandez gets himself booked for talking too much. He had to be dragged away by his fellow Chelsea players. Oh. Oh, Aston Villa just could not bring the ball under control in that Chelsea box. Oh, Chelsea looking for the fourth year. Oh, that's a poor pass from Malo Gusto. Arsenal have their second corner of the game. They've not had many of those. Brighton are not looking to gift them many of those, although they've been gifted 4 by on the other side. What Fabian Hasler's deployed is keeping some of his players up front when they go in for set pieces, so that if Bart Verbruggen gathers that ball, they can quickly go on a counterattack on the other side. So, oh, Arsenal's high press today has really failed, hasn't worked as it usually does, and they remain with that narrow 1-0 lead. Danny Welbeck will be brought on. Told you Arsenal will have to worry about him. He's a former Arsenal player, likes to do a number on his former bosses. Hassa, what's up, big bro? What's up to you too? Hi, Hassa. How are you doing? It's a pleasure to have you on the podcast. Kindly like the podcast, but if it's your first or second time here, please consider subscribing to the channel. We are following up on those Premier League games where Chelsea are leading by 3-1 against Aston Villa. Goals from Douglas Luiz for Aston Villa, 2 from Joao Pedro for Chelsea, and another by Cole Palmer. While Arsenal are still doing enough just to survive by their 1-0 lead against Brighton. The Man City are 2-1 up against Nottingham Forest, with goals coming in from Anton Semenyo and Rodrigo Hernandez Cascante there. So Brighton have introduced Danny Welbeck. Touch Mensa. You say I'm doing well. What about you? I'm all right. Thanks for asking. Danny Welbeck, 35 years of age, 10 goals to his name already. That tells you everything you need to know about him. And for as long as Arsenal continue to fail to get that second goal, it's going to be a long night for them. It's going to be a very, very long night for them. They just can't even string a couple of passes right now at the moment. They're all over the place. Oftentimes, they've chosen to go long. That's my problem. Always looking to the back for solutions when there are players up front. But Erling Haaland wants a penalty for that touch by Matt Sells. Not sure he survives it. Wafer kicks away the ball. Chelsea have the fourth. Joao Pedro with a hat-trick. It's 4 Chelsea, 1 Aston Villa. Aston Villa getting ripped to shreds tonight. Unai Emery, not sure how he will make, what he will make of this, but it's quite a horrendous performance from his side thus far. Chelsea are having a field day out there. That hat-trick will take Joao Pedro to about 14 goals to his name this season already, right up there with the likes of Antoine Semenyo. An easy tap in with Alejandro Garnacho providing the assist. Very easy tap home. This Aston Villa defense all over the place. Only 65 minutes played, and Aston Villa are paying the ultimate price. Leandro Trossard. What was he thinking? He knows he should be putting that into the back of the net. That's just a poor ball. Gabriel Magalhaes couldn't believe it. No can Mikel Arteta covers his face in shame, but less in shame and more in disbelief. It's shameful that did not go in. Arsenal desperately need that second goal if they are to secure a victory tonight. Jurriën Timber, what are you thinking putting the ball in no man's land? Oh, Nottingham Forest have scored to restore parity. It's 2-2 between Nottingham Forest and Man City. That's according to my radar, my goal scorer radar, trying to get all feeds. That's why I have my phone here. We got 2 games on my screen, trying to do our best to bring you the latest from those. Christian Nørgaard is being ready to come on for the Arsenal. Let's see. Come on. Elliot Anderson with the goal that restores parity for Nottingham Forest. Like I said, I'm not particularly worried about Man City. I think they will win. They may have to do it the hard way, but they will win. Oh. What a strike from Elliot Anderson. Beautiful, beautiful goal. He bends it beyond the reach of Gianluigi Donnarumma, uses Mark Gay a little bit as his shadow, curls it past him and into the back of the net. Beautiful, beautiful goal. As beautiful as a goal you will see. Meanwhile, Newcastle have the lead against Manchester United. That goal from Anthony Gordon, a penalty, is what has the Magpies in the lead. Sorry. It's 1-1. It's 1-1. Man United have scored to restore parity through Casemiro, with Bruno Fernandes providing possibly his 14th assist of the season. Yeah, 14th assist of the season. Brilliant moment there. Arsenal fans will be hoping this one ends the way it is, and that of Man City ends the way it is. But I'm not sure. You got to have some bit of luck. But I do not think today is the day Man City drop points while Arsenal gain them on the other side. Oh, Yankuba Minte has been incredibly dangerous down that right hand flank. She's been quite dangerous. Let's see. We've entered into that zone. It's the 80th minute for Man City. Igor Thiago was trying to waste time to run across the pitch as while he was being substituted, and the referee said no to that. Said no, go back through behind the goal. Christian Nogard has been brought on for Martin Zubimendi in that Arsenal pit hole. Let's see how he does. I've always asked for him to come on to help see out games, to come and help provide some bit of running legs in that midfield. Let's see if he can live to the billing, because Arsenal know they need those kind of running legs in there. Doku, Jeremy Doku. Elliot Anderson. Kadioglu. Arsenal a body check. Romeo Lavia, I don't know what he was attempting to drink, but whatever it is, as soon as he pressed that bottle, I had that frowning face. I don't know. I feel Brighton are going to equalize in this game. That's my feeling. Mark my words. I have a feeling Brighton are going to score an equalizer in this game. And I have a feeling Man City are going to score a winning goal on the other end. Fabian Hassler was right about one thing. Arsenal take a lot of time taking their corners and throw-ins. I do not think now is the time to waste time, if any. Savinho has been brought on. Pep Guardiola is throwing every little attacking asset he has at his disposal on that pitch already. Kai Havertz trying to I don't think there's anything in that. That's easy. You can't give that as a penalty. Let's see some of those Manchester City changes. Savinho for Ryan Cherki, Jeremy Doku for Phil Foden, Koscielny for Ryan Atonori. Some of the changes Man City have made thus far. David Raya choosing to go for the rugby goals. Either of these two things are going to happen, guys, or at least one of them. Either Arsenal consider an equalizer or Man City score a winning goal. There's a possibility of both happening, but there's also a possibility of one happening. More likely, Arsenal being the one conceding a goal. Call me a skeptical animal, but they've not given the kind of performance that is very reassuring, particularly in the second half. They've not created chances. They've not taken shots on goal. They've had a few minor attempts that have been, blazed wide of the mark from Bukayo Saka and the other from Leandro Trossard. Other than that, it's been nothing. It's been nothing from Arsenal. It's a Brighton that has created the most chances. Gabriel Magalhaes is waving his arms already there in protest. Oh, meanwhile, when Ricardo Carafiori came on for Christian Mosquera, it was Piero Hincapié that moved into the center back position, and Ricardo Carafiori moved to the left back role. Who told players to do this thing? Come on. How do you start a free kick and then play it outside? As in how? How? Christian Norgard, was that you? Or Rice? One of the two of you did that. You can imagine. Since the 9th minute, when Saka scored, Arsenal have not had a shot on target. They've not even created that many chances. The big chance that you'd call onto was that of Leandro Trossard, and then he parried it way wide of the mark. They just can't bring the ball down under their control. They're just kicking it all over the place. They're defending as though it's the 6th minute of stoppage time after 7 minutes have been added. But they will need to do a lot of interceptions, need to break up play. They just need to also keep killing the Brighton momentum, whatever they need to do to hang in there. Otherwise, it's going to be a nail-biting, nervous end to this game. Eberechi Eze has been a ghost in this game. Havertz was offside. Was that offside? It looked onside. Kai Havertz went for power right at the near post, but Bart Verbruggen had it covered to the near post. I don't think it was ever going in. Looked like it was destined for the side net or the upright, but he did not take any chances. Meanwhile, Emiliano Martinez has just pulled off an immaculate save off an Alejandro Garnacho attempt here. Chelsea threw on the counter-attack. I think it was Cucurella who made the cutback for, the cross for, or the pass for, Garnacho, and he was trying to place it back the direction of the goalkeeper where he was coming from, and he saved that with his feet. Brilliant save there from Emiliano Martinez. I know their game is done and dusted, that they've already lost 4, but they are now playing for their reputation. Nottingham Forest making a couple of changes in there. It's still 2-2. Arsenal still hanging on by a thread. But if anything, I've told you what my expectations are in those 2 games. Either Man City get a late winning goal, and then Arsenal concede an equalizer on the other side, or either both of those things can happen, or one of them is going to happen. That's my gut feeling. That's what my gut feeling tells me. And it's on a good number of occasions been right. I can't say it's always right, but yeah. That Morgan Gibbs White equalizer is as cheeky as a goal you're going to see, with the back heel. He knows he has his back against the goal. Doesn't bother bringing the ball under his control in terms of, having it under the control and making it turn. As soon as it brings it onto his feet, he goes for the back heel and nutmegs people in the process. That was beautiful. So in the Arsenal game, it's been 7 minutes of added time. For Man City, we'll find out soon enough. Same for Man City. It's like, I don't know if the officials were communicating there, but 7 minutes of added time in both games. Let's see. Gabriel Magalhaes there did a number. Nottingham Forest almost got the 3rd. I can't bet on Nottingham Forest scoring, but I can bet on Man City scoring. And I can also bet on Arsenal conceding as opposed to Arsenal scoring. That's what is happening. Bukayo Saka trying to waste a bit of time there. The nerves are kicking in. Arsenal know what is at stake. Brighton know they can cause an upset. They are capable of that. Man City know how to grind out games. That's why I'm still confident about them getting a goal. I've seen them do it so many times. Hasn't been brought Erling Haaland's better days or performances. Oof. Rodrigo Hernandez Cascante almost scored. He's claiming there's a foul on him. He wants a penalty. It's going to go under review. I'm sure VR will take a look at that one. We could have a penalty in that one. We could have a penalty in the Man City game. We could have a penalty in the Man City game. I need to take a second look at this. But it gets that ball clean. If anything, the contact is after he's kicked the ball away. Elliot Anderson, what have you done? The referee contends it's not a penalty so far. It's not being... Arsenal on the other side are living dangerously. Meanwhile, this side, the penalty has not been given. Man City have been told to play on. It's one-way traffic for Brighton against Arsenal. Wow. Yassine Ayari, very unfortunate to bring down Kai Havertz. Not sure he really intended to do that. I don't think he really intended to do that. Arsenal fans, wherever you are across the world, how is the temperature? How is it feeling? How are the nerves? How is the pressure? Man City fans across the world, Duncan, my friend, how is this going? Are you feeling the heat? Are you feeling the pressure? Are you feeling the nerves? Are you smelling the desperation for Arsenal to see it through, for Man City to get that winning goal? They have a free kick in a dangerous area. Can they make it count? 5 minutes of the 7 added played on the Arsenal side, hanging on. The West Ham game is already finished. Jurriën Timber conceding a foul. That's the last thing you want to do, giving away a free kick. Anton Semenyo, this close to making it 3-2 for Man City. Brilliant free kick. He put it over the wall and it was dipping in almost. It was almost dipping in under the crossbar. It kisses on the upper part of the crossbar. That's how close it was. Meanwhile, Man United versus Newcastle is still 1-1. Wow. Mikel Arteta, if he was a saucepan, he would be a saucepan boiling porridge. He's feeling the heat. He's feeling the heat under him. He feels the nerves, the temperature of, things happening. It's all over. Arsenal have won by 1-0. Man City still play on, looking for that winning goal. They are looking for that winning goal. They are yet to find it, but they have a corner kick. Ola Aina giving out one there. Let's see how it falls through. But Arsenal have grinded it out thanks to that 9th-minute goal from Bukayo Saka, which was their only shot, literally on target, until the next one, I think, came from Kai Havertz very late on in the game. But they managed to grind it out. What is going to be the final result at the City of Manchester Stadium, at the Etihad? Oh, Man City, it's finished 2-2 between Man City and Nottingham Forest. Arsenal restore that 7-point cushion at the summit of the Premier League table, but they still have a game in hand, and that game is against Crystal Palace. Arsenal fans won't care any less about the kind of performance they've had tonight. What they will consider most, what will matter to them the most, will be that 3 points. It is all the 3 points. They took care of the business. It was one key moment of the game that decided the game for them, and they've seen it through. Pep Guardiola could not believe at the blow of the final whistle that even with the last minute gossip, they had an opportunity fumbled. There's a goal line clearance there by Moriro to deny Man City. But that is equally a precious point for Nottingham Forest in as far as the Premier League table is concerned. What a performance. What a night from from Nottingham Forest, from Manchester City, from Arsenal. I talked about this. I said it's a game of small margins. It could boil down to a brilliant performance of a goalkeeper, or perhaps the lack of clinicalness. Man City did create all the chances in the world to win that game, but as the case is, they have not managed to win it. It's ended in a draw. Full-time score: Man City 2, Nottingham Forest 2. Man City having 6 attempts or shots on target, scoring with only 2. They had 8 shots off target with 7 blocked shots, compared to 4 on target, 2 off target, and 3 blocked for Nottingham Forest. Dominated possession to the tune of 70%, but it was not meant to be. They still have it all to play for, because the title race is far from over between Man City and Arsenal. It could be 3 valuable points, but remember, Arsenal's next game will be up against Everton, another very, very difficult opponent. As we have come to know this season, we have seen it when Arsenal have won, Man City dropped points, and then we move to the subsequent match day. Then Arsenal drop points and Man City win, and then we are back to all where it began. So it's now 7 points that Arsenal lead with at the summit of the Premier League table with 8 games left to play. In the 2022-2023 campaign, I think, when they missed out on the Premier League title, they won only 3 of their last 9 games. The one thing that Arsenal trying to do, or to correct this season, is pick up points in games in which they dropped them last season, particularly for the 14 draws. Last season, it was they were all draws, 1 all draws between Brighton and Arsenal. This season, they managed to beat Brighton home and away by 2-1 and by 1-0. It wasn't pretty, but they would go with the 3 points. And then also on the other side, remember, they also beat them. I think it was in the EFL Cup or something by 2-0 there. So they still have it all to do for the Gunners that will come. Allow me try and switch to the Man United game, because that one is still ongoing in as far as this fixture is concerned, or in as far as a match day. But I mean, that goal from Morgan Gibbs-White is one that will be contender for goals of the season, because it was a brilliant goal in as far as that performance is concerned. All right. Chelsea still yet to see out that game through. They still play on, but they lead by 4-1. I don't think they'll be too worried about their own performance, really. Oh, come on. Trying to find that Man United game so that we can see it through to its logical conclusion. It's still 1-1, goes from Casemiro and a penalty from Anthony Gordon. There is what is still the difference between the two sides. All right. Oh. Newcastle down to 10 men. In the first half, there was a sending off of Jacob Ramsey for a second yellow card, but they are still trying to hang in there. For the second match day in a row, Manchester United have an opponent reduced to 10 men because last weekend, as a beat up against Crystal Palace by 2-1, they had Maxence Lequois sent off in that one. They had a wrongly awarded penalty to them as die on that hill because I did not think that. Meanwhile, the Chelsea game has equally finished in favor of Chelsea, winning that game by 4-1 against Aston Villa. I'm not sure any of us would have predicted the 4-1, the 4-1 sort of result in favor of Chelsea, but we will take it, really. They will take it. They will take it. For those of you that are just joining us, kindly like the podcast. But if it's your first time with us, consider subscribing to the channel. We are following events from the game between Manchester United and Newcastle. And Newcastle down to 10 men following a first half sending off over Jacob Ramsey for a second booking. Like I said, for the second game in a row, Manchester United have had an opponent reduced to 10 men. But Newcastle are not yet making it any easy for Man United. I do fancy Man United to go and grind it out and get eventually the results because as the game wears on, usually 10 men tend to tire and you can break through them. Oh, what a block from Kobe Mainu. What a block. Wow. Football. Excruciating pressure. That's a foul from Martinelli, and there's no penalty given. Absolutely no intention on the ball, but VAR doesn't even give its verdict. VAR looked at that incident. It was a poor performance from Arsenal, make no mistake, but it won't matter. At this stage in the season, a team that is involved in all four competitions and are still trying to grind it out and win as much as they can, any result that is a win is what they will take, even if it means that they score from a corner kick, a penalty kick, using the tongue, using somebody's mouth or stomach, whichever way they do it, it's all about putting that ball over the line. And for as long as they keep doing it, it won't, the rest will be considered background noise for them. But oh my, those two Nottingham Forest goals from Elliot Anderson and Morgan Gibbs White are goals that you need to go up and watch. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant goals from a cheeky back heel goal. For those of you that remember, I think it was in 2003 when Thierry Henry scored that kind of goal against Southampton in the Premier League. I stand to be corrected, but I think that was the time and that was the opponent. I think I need to look it up and see. Back heel. Yep. Oh, it was against Charlton Athletic in October, on October the 2nd, 2004. It was against Charlton Athletic, according to online sources, but I need to see it for myself. Oof. Man United close to getting the lead. Luke Shaw withdrawn. Manelo Ugarte. Oh, Diego Dalot. Yeah, that goal. If you watch Thierry Henry's goal in 2004 versus Charlton Athletic, that's the goal that you are looking at. That is a goal that Morgan Gibbs White scored against Man City. And then Elliot Anderson, the way he bends that ball, cause it besides Mackey and onto the near post to beat Gianluigi Donnarumma was equally impressive. Twice they went down, twice they rose up again. Man City will feel hard done by because there was a potential for a penalty call, that did not go their way. But equally, Nottingham Forest will feel the same way because there was a penalty call against, I think it was Ruben Diaz there. I do not know what the justification was for it not being given, but Ruben Diaz does not appear like he played the ball in that particular incident. He gets a brush of the ball, would have been harsh. I don't think you give that one. He gets the ball, but with the fall through, kicks the Nottingham Forest player. But Man City will have the bigger claim on what would have been a penalty, particularly for that foul by, I think, was it Elliot Anderson on Rodrigo Hernandez Cascante? They will feel hard done by for that decision particularly. Somebody saying online at one point, and this is called Fiona Caroline, says, at one point everything was blurry for me. Arsenal, you go kill me one day. Oh, like I told you, it's the game that Arsenal fans watched on with their teeth, with their hearts in their hands, but they'll be glad they managed to see it through. Nusa Mazorui causing Man United problems. Piero Hincapié locked in, intense in every challenge, but using his aggression only when it's needed, constantly communicating with Gabriel. You can see that partnership is slowly flourishing, slotted in at right back seamlessly. Sorry, at right centre back seamlessly. Vamos, Piero. Tonight is your night. Man of the match performance there. The shenanigans of the game. There's a moment where Piero Hincapié shushed Fabian Hassler quite when he was trying to, I think, tell him to hurry up with the throw in. Oh, how did Newcastle not score with that? Anthony Gordon is appealing for a penalty, as well as Joelinton. They'll look at this. No, there's nothing in that. It comes off with Diego Dalot, but I don't think that's a handball. Arsenal's next responsibilities will be up against Mansfield Town in the FA Cup over the weekend, after which they will play away to Bayer Leverkusen in the UEFA Champions League, and then return at home and play against Everton, and then play Bayer Leverkusen in the reverse fixture of the UEFA Champions League before what's that other game that they have in close succession there. It's one that will put them on the edge. Anthony Gordon at the back post, racing through, but could not connect to it. Should be scoring from there. So after Everton, they will then play Bournemouth, but that will be, I think, sometime after the international break, for which they will have taken a bit of a breather through that. Oh, sorry. No, there's no breather in that, because prior to the international break, they have the final of the EFL Cup final. They have the final of the EFL Cup against Man City. So after playing this weekend, they play Mansfield Town, then they play Everton over the weekend. Sorry, play Bayer Leverkusen in the UEFA Champions League, then Everton. Then after Everton, they will play Bayer Leverkusen. That will be after that. After Bayer Leverkusen's reverse fixture at the Emirates Stadium, then meanwhile Man City will have played away to the Santiago Bernabeu. No, Man City will have played at home at the Etihad Stadium against Real Madrid. Then they'll go and play at Wembley against Manchester City in the finals of the EFL Cup. And then, guess what? When they return from the international break, they will play a game in the FA Cup for the first weekend. Then subsequent to that, they will play against Bournemouth. After that, if they will have advanced to the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League, they'll have a UEFA Champions League fixture before playing away to Manchester City. So that's the run of games that they do have on their side. Man City, their next game is away to West Ham. That will be in the Premier League. But over the weekend, they're going to be playing against Newcastle in the FA Cup. So after the FA Cup game, they'll play Real Madrid and then return to the weekend to play West Ham. That's their next 3 games for Man City. But also after playing West Ham, they'll play Chelsea, then they'll play Arsenal in the Premier League. But in between there, they have Arsenal twice in the EFL Cup final, and they have Real Madrid twice in the UEFA Champions League. So that's the engagement that you should expect from those 2 title contenders. So 7 points separate the 2 sides. But for me, with Man City having a game in hand, you can consider that as few as 4. Like I keep saying, Man City are still well within the driving seat of this one. It may not be their advantage, but as a team that have done this before, they are still in a good place, because the assumption here is if they win their game in hand, then they are within 4 points. And then if they can beat Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium, it puts them within 1 point. And who knows? Who is to say that Arsenal are not going to drop points between now until the end of the season? Anything can happen. So it's still all there. Arsenal had an XG of 0.01, but to be fair, Brighton also had a 0.33. So looks like like I said, they won't care much about how they won than the fact that they won. That's all that will matter. Manchester United still 1-1 against Newcastle. All Arsenal fans are saying a win is a win, but that performance was so disturbing. It was far from pretty. It was far from pretty. That you can be rest assured. Arsenal have 8 Premier League games left to play. Man City have 9. The title is still there for the taking. If you think Man City are going to give up, think again, because then that means you do not know Pep Guardiola as well as Mikel Arteta knows him. Somebody, an Arsenal fan, posted that clip of Morilo's goal line clearance with literally the last kick of the game, and said, "Morilo, you're invited to the parade, lad." Meaning, if Arsenal win the Premier League trophy, then he is invited to the trophy parade that they will host. But let's not forget, guys, I don't know if you've noticed, there's been a bit of a pattern. If you remember, among the teams that cost Arsenal points was Liverpool. Well, they were unable to cost Arsenal points, but Nottingham Forest forced Arsenal into a goalless draw in their reverse fixture. They have just forced Man City into a 3-all draw. So as you scan around, look at teams against which Arsenal have dropped points. Remember, Man United beat them both, or they both dropped points against Manchester United. Think about that. Think about that. There's perhaps there's not too much to read into it, but there's definitely a pattern there. There's definitely a pattern there. Need to have a flash look at the Premier League table, particularly on the implications of that point for Nottingham Forest at the bottom of the standings there. It takes them to 27 points. Is it? No. That table is yet to be updated. Oh my God. Premier League. What are you waiting for? We're into the 74th minute of Man United versus Newcastle. It's still 1-1. Nottingham Forest, with that point, they've moved to 28 points after 29 games played. But West Ham did beat up against Fulham. West Ham did beat up against Fulham by 1-0, and so they are level on points with Nottingham Forest. What a story it would be if Nuno Espirito Santo were to save West Ham from relegation at the expense of his former side in Nottingham Forest. What a story that would be. Looks like it was Somerville with the goal, with Gerard Bowen providing the assist there, for that. Dan Ban, just a while back, a couple of seconds ago, celebrating a brilliant clearance. Oh, what a brilliant save from Aaron Ramsdale to deny Leny Yoro. What a brilliant save. Bruno Fernandes floated in the perfect ball near the corner edge of the 16 yards box, and Leny Yoro put his head to it. But what a save from Aaron Ramsdale. Oh, Aaron Ramsdale. Harriet Aquata says hi. Hi, Harriet. Where are you joining us from? Are you a football fan? If you are, what team do you support? Particularly, I'm coming to you live from Kampala, Uganda, where it's 55 minutes past midnight, which is 5 minutes basically to 1 a.m. My name is Robert Kesakos, and welcome to the Football Tribe UG channel. We are on the watch along for that Man United game, trying to see it through. Quarter an hour left to play. Manelu Gate heads it onto the roof of the net. Man United ever edging closer to that goal that could win them all 3 points after Aston Villa got demolished by Chelsea, who beat them by 4-1. Joao Pedro with a hat-trick in that one, as well as Cole Palmer, the players on target. Really Douglas Luiz squad for Aston Villa. Man United are making changes, withdrawing Kobe Mino for Amadou Diallo and then Nusa Mazorui. Is he the one coming on for Joshua Zirkzee? Aaron Ramsdale. Oh, Joshua Zirkzee is coming on for Bryan Mbeumo. Michael Carrick and Ed Howe just had a moment there to re-echo their instructions to their respective players. On this very, very beautiful night. For those of you that are still part of us, thank you so much for choosing to stay with us for the length of this broadcast. It's been 1 hour and 48 minutes so far, and Man United are still playing on against Newcastle. In the meantime, I'll be trying my best to get all the reaction from the Man City fans, the Arsenal fans, and all other, and perhaps the neutrals. A Man City player, fan says, calls himself MFC underscore Mr. Page, says, our title race is over. I don't think it's over, in my opinion, for Man City, unless they drop another game in terms of losing and then Arsenal win. Perhaps then I could say it's over. And actually, if let's say Man City were to lose their game in hand, and then they lose another game, and then Arsenal win, and they leading by 10 points, then I could say it's over. But until then, it is not yet over. According to TNT, Gabriel Magalhaes has been awarded man of the match. They're asking penalty or no penalty. For me, it's not a penalty because Rodri gets a clean kick of that ball, and his fall through kicks Elliot Anderson as opposed to Elliot Anderson kicking him. That's how I look at it. Another one could interpret it differently, but that's how I see it. Mark Goldbridge says huge shift in the title race. Like he points it out, he doesn't say it's over equally. He simply says huge shift because he knows it's far from over. An Arsenal fan calling himself Benjamin, saying, I thought it's only Arsenal that would be dropping points. Then the other penalty shot out, or that Man City will try to claim, would be that, incident between Brad Erling Haaland and Matt Sells. But again, it's subjective. I don't think if the referee had given it, they would have changed it. I don't think so. But since he did not give it, it was also deemed not to be a clear and obvious error. There is contact between Brad Erling Haaland and Matt Sells. But at that point, maybe the argument, I don't know if there's any argument for it to say the ball is out of Haaland's possession, that it's going out. I don't know what the rationale was there. But like I said, if they had given it, I do not think they would have, VR would have intervened to revert it. Arsenal's man of the match for tonight, on match day 29 or 30th for Arsenal, will be Nottingham Forest's Moriro, not any of those Arsenal players that played at Brighton. We're into the 83rd minute of the game, still 1-1. Newcastle looking to cause Man United to drop points for the second time under Michael Carrick's charges. Ed Howe is preparing double change to bring on Jacob Murphy and William Osula are the players being ready to come on by Newcastle. Oh, come on. Let's look for more of that reaction. Now, there's big news making the rounds at Real Madrid regarding Kylian Mbappe. Now, there are reports, I do not know to what effect. These are rumors that apparently Kylian Mbappe does not want to risk his knee by coming back too quick because it could jeopardize his chances of playing at the World Cup. However, according to Madrid Zone on X, who quotes Marca, he says Kylian Mbappe could be back next week for the first leg against Man City. The player is trying very hard to make it back in time, and the club now believes it's possible. So there's that. A lot of cramping here. I've seen Nusa Mazori walking with a slight limp, Kieran Trippier needing his legs to be stretched out a bit. Wait, was that not a corner kick? That should be a corner kick for Man United, but it wasn't given. Well, next season, there's a proposal that VAR intervene if they can do it quickly enough to determine corner kicks that have not been awarded or that have been wrongly awarded. So I think that's to reflect on the importance or the growing importance of set pieces in the modern game. Apologies for the internet glitch there. This was Arsenal's 10th Premier League victory by a 1-goal margin this season. Only in 2003-2004, the unbeaten season, have they ever had more 1-goal victories at this stage of the season in the competition. They had 12. Meanwhile, Arsenal fans, at the end of the game, stayed at the Amex Stadium and sang songs of praise of their team. If only God can help them see it over the line, because it would mean the world to those Arsenal players if they were, to those Arsenal fans if their team were to win the Premier League title. But the thing is, Newcastle have not really panicked, despite being a man less. They felt their nerve. They've defended well. Oh, here United come. Manuel Ugate's attempt is blocked. Joshua Zirkzee just forced Aaron Ramsdale into another world-class save. Dipping ball. That's the kind of performance that you want from your goalkeeper on a night like this, when you're down to 10 men and your goal is literally under siege, receiving a barrage of attacks, one after the other. Newcastle will have a moment to breathe in, but what a save. On his weaker hand, that's the thing about Aaron Ramsdale. On a good day, he can pull off some immaculate saves. Remember that save he pulled off a James Maddison free kick when Arsenal were beating Leicester City. Before Maddison made the move to... It's a goal. Newcastle have scored. It's 2-1. William Osula. Could this be the goal that condemns Michael Carrick to his first defeat as Man United manager? Could this be the goal that Aston Villa fans celebrate more than they wallow in their own defeats? Wow, what a goal. Brilliant. But I've lived long enough to see Man United make comebacks, to score, to restore parity, or to score the winning goal. I saw it against Arsenal. I saw it against Fulham. It's not over. But wow, take a bow. Willian Osula. That's a brilliant goal to beat Seny Lomans. Beautiful goal. Beautiful goal. He doesn't have to keep that ball in play. He uses Harry Maguire as his shadow, as his blocker, to block the vision of Seny Lomans, and he bends it with a strong whip into the back of the net. Now, for those of you that argue that the title pursuit is over, these kinds of games, bearing in mind that Arsenal still have to play a team like Newcastle, who have not had a good season, is what tells me that the Premier League title race is far from over. It doesn't necessarily mean that it will be only Arsenal that will drop points, but all I'm saying, there is still a chance for teams to fight. But wow, what a goal that was. Newcastle are one of the teams that have dropped the most number of points in the Premier League from a winning position. So, could that trend be about to continue? Because if they do concede, then Man United will rescue a point. An Arsenal fan is saying, this is a submission from Abdul Wasike. He says, Arsenal fans are beginning to see the truth now, hiding behind keyboards to disrespect the incredible and irreplaceable work that Martin Odegaard does will never stop being annoying to me. Eze does not offer the creativity, tenacity, and pressing that Odegaard offers to the team. Eze has the aura of Ozil with the ability of a championship player. Very, very strong words there on Ebeleche Eze, and huge praise on Martin Odegaard. Nothing we haven't said before, although not in those great terms. Can Man United rescue a point? How does Bruno Fernandes not get booked for that? How? He commits a foul, the referee gives it against him, and he goes with the F of word to the referee. Not once, but twice. It's all over. Newcastle 2, Manchester United 1. At last, Michael Carrick has been condemned to his first defeat as a Manchester United interim manager. It's taken 8 games, but he's lost a game of football in the Premier League. William Osula with the brilliant strike that won it. William Osula has won it for Newcastle. Newcastle 2, Anthony Gordon and William Osula there with the goals, while Casemiro scored for Manchester United. For me, the man of the match is Aaron Ramsdale because he turned up with a performance. His manager trusted him ahead of Nick Pope, who committed a horrendous error in their 3-2 loss against Everton, and he's come good on this time of asking. Full-time score, Man United 1, Newcastle 2 at St. James's Park. Guys, what more can I say other than to say thank you so much, Harriet. Thank you so much, Hassan. Sorry, is it? Yes, Hassan. Enoch, John, Betty, and every single one of you. Schemas, and every single one of you that has been part of tonight's podcast. Stay blessed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye for now. Good night.